myself, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my wife and kids, and I know that we all appreciate the fans and what a lift they've given us the last couple games.
Atlanta certainly played a great series because this was just an outstanding series.
Yeah, it just really was. It's too bad one team had to lose. You know, the Atlanta Braves are definitely not losers. They're a great team, and they have nothing to be, hanging their heads about. They played a great series.
We're going to show the winning run. The big Gene Larkin, one of 25 cogs on this Tom Kelly team here, and he came through in the clutch.
Yeah, Gino's a big part of this team. You know, he's a hard worker and a big part of this team, and we've been picking each other up all year, and Gino did a great job for it.
And you get yourself that ring. I mean, that's what everybody plays for, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great feeling.
All right, congratulations, Brian Harper. Brian Harper did such a great job catching this year, batted .310 during the regular season, had himself a great World Championship Series, and also had himself a great ALCS. And last night in Game 6, they say he's got defensive problems. Boy, he gunned down a runner at a key time. So Brian Harper obviously comes through. Look at, we have the man right here, Mr. Carl Pohlad. Look at this. Congratulations. You've got yourself your second World Championship.
Well, my second, I can't believe it. I haven't even hardly believed that we had the first one. I'm just getting used to the fact.
Is this one any sweeter than the first one?
Well, yes, I think it's sweeter. It's entirely different. We had to fight all the way. But I don't know. It just seemed like every day there was something new, and every day our team built more confidence. But more than that, the fan support, which I attribute a lot of our success to. Because wherever you go, traveling out to all the major league cities, they say, how did you ever get that visible, vociferous, loud fan support? And I said, that's because we treat our fans, they're loyal to us, and we try to produce for them.
I would imagine you're just about as tired as some of the teammates right now.
Well, I'm really not tired. I'm numb. You know what I mean? I still can't believe it. When Larkin got up to bat, I said, this is it. He's going to get a hit, I know. And sure enough, pop.
You've made some great investments in your lifetime, but I would imagine Jack Morris ranks right up there.
I would say that's one of our better ones.
Congratulations, Mr.
We've had some losers, too, so they all bounce off.
Congratulations, Mr. Pohlad. You're going after your second world title, and he does have it. Carl Pohlad, the owner of the Minnesota Twins. And I'm just seeing if we got anybody else around here who we can grab onto. Most of the players are now moving into the locker room area. Rob Lear, our man on the inside, is where else? He's on the inside of the locker room right now, grabbing some of those players. We'll be turning around some of that sound as best we can. I'm just looking if we can maybe get another team official, if Andy McPhail or any of those players are out there. What we'll do is we'll regroup in the meantime, but keep it right here on Channel 5. We appreciate you switching over for Sunday Sports Wrap, a World Series edition. We'll be right back.
Placid. I didn't think I'd ever see anything to top that. Well, I have. All Minnesota fans have, I think.
And Atlanta fans as well. I don't know if we can even appreciate what we've watched in the past 7 games to see a series played as well as we've seen between the Minnesota Twins and Atlanta Braves. And keep in mind, the Twins finished the regular season with a 95-67 record. The Atlanta Braves finished with 94-68 record. 1 game better than Atlanta, and that's all they finished after 7 games. Brian Harper turned to Terry Pendleton before the 10th inning and said, why don't we just call this a draw and go home? They both had a little bit of a chuckle, but it was serious business, and the Minnesota Twins, against all odds, did it again. Here's a look at what happened on the field just minutes after the Twins had won on Gene Larkin's pinch hit fly ball to right field. Kent Herbeck kissing Eloise Pohlad, the owner. Shane Mack and Kevin Tapani. Mike Pagliarulo. And right now we have catcher Brian Harper, who had the pleasure of catching Jack Morris tonight along with everything else. First of all, the MVP, Jack Morris. You tell me firsthand what it was like to catch him.
It was, like you said, a pleasure. He made so many big pitches at the right time. You know, in a game like this, every pitch is, you know, can win or lose a game, you know, and it was just phenomenal how the big pitches that he would come up, and, you know, we bases loaded and 1 out and get the double play, and second and third, nobody outs, and just make 2 pitches to Ron Gant, some very good hitters, and it was just a great game. Jack deserves to be the MVP, and you know, for pitching such a great game.
Did he show any signs of tiring out there, Brian?
Yeah, when he went out there in the 10th inning, his warm-ups were a little shaky, and I thought, uh-oh. But then once the batter got in the batter's box, he just seemed to turn it on again. You know, he was throwing as good in the 10th inning as the first inning.
Brian, you certainly survived your share of lumps in this series, and physically more than anyone else. Could you characterize in your own words what this was like the past 7 days?
It was just emotionally and physically the most draining week that I've ever had. I mean, I don't know if I could have went any longer. You know, this game was just the ups and downs emotionally and physically. It was just draining.
And none of your teammates wanted to leave the field tonight. So sharing it with the fans.
No, I think it was such a rewarding finish to a great year. You know, we worked so hard all year, and from the day one in spring training, TK had us working, and we worked hard, and we haven't quit, and tonight was just a great finish.
Well, go enjoy it with your teammates and your family, Brian. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Brian Harper, who was very instrumental in this 7-game series with the Minnesota Twins, not only catching Jack Morris tonight, but performing so well on the plate, behind the plate, on the bases, and doing everything that it took. And he's a free agent, as we all know, and we'll have to see what happens with Brian Harper as this progresses. Well, let's take a look at some of the key plays of tonight's game. You talk about the Gold Glove. Well, the Atlanta Braves had the opportunity to win it in regulation time here, top of the 8th. Here's the mistake that the Atlanta Brave fans will never forget. Terry Pendleton hits a double in the gap. Sure to score Lonnie Smith, but Lonnie Smith stopped around second base. What was he thinking? Did Chuck Knobloch decoy him to the point where Smith held up? Well, apparently that was responsible. Decoy or not, Lonnie Smith held up, which was the biggest mistake of the World Series. One Atlanta writer characterized Lonnie Smith as the type of guy who would, every time he goes on the expressway, expects to get a ticket. Well, let's look what's happened after that. A double play is Sid Bream, goes Herbeck to Harper, back to Herbeck, and they get out of the inning. That was the top of the 8th. Well, it looked like the Twins were going to have their own opportunity to win it in the bottom of the 8th inning. As we talk about our paths of glory, it looked like this was going to be the path of glory for the Minnesota Twins. Al Newman on first base. Chuck Knobloch, the sure Rookie of the Year, does what he does best. Hits the ball to right field. A hit and run. Newman on third. First and third. Now, Ken Herbeck comes to the plate. They intentionally walk Kirby Puckett to get to Herbeck, and Herbeck hits a soft liner to Lemke, a double play to end the inning. Incredible how that worked out. So now we went on to the 9th inning. And the Minnesota Magic, well, here's what happened. Dan Gladden, who had his problems at the plate early, came through. Alejandro Pena on the mound, the stopper for Atlanta, and Gladden hits a broken bat bleeder. And here's where Gladden's aggressive base running proved to be the key point. He saw that extra hop and made it into second safely, and that set the tone for what happened next. All the players were being used. Gladden moved on to third. Gene Larkin, whose claim to fame was breaking Lou Gehrig's record at Columbia, hit a long fly ball, and that was it. That was the ball game. That was the World Series. And the American League continues to win this series in odd number years. Dan Gladden coming home, and the Minnesota Twins had won their second World Series in 4 years. And all Pena could do was walk off the mound in disbelief as Jack Morris, the series MVP, celebrated. And what a night for Jack Morris. And the storybook finished. You could write a book about what he's accomplished here at Minnesota. The reason the Twins signed Jack Morris was for a night like this. And did he ever come through? As Brian Harper talked about, it looked like Morris could go on for about 17 innings the way he was pitching. As we take a look at our King of the Hill special with Jack Morris leading the way. In the 5th inning, you got Ron Gant here on a called third strike. They had runners on first and third and only one out. Actually, here's the play that set things up, almost getting the pickoff play at third, as Pagliarulo does a good job of trying to get Lemke, but the Braves remained in it. Morris is always at his best under the most trying circumstances. As I mentioned, they had runners on first and third, and here's what happened. A called third strike, and look at the emotion that Jack Morris showed on the mound. Unbeaten in series play and in postseason, that's Jack Morris. And in fact, we have an opportunity to talk to Jack after the game.
you need any more than that, it's beautiful.
Jack, how did you, 125 pitches, that was probably more than anybody would have dreamed of, maybe even yourself on the 3 days rest, and then scoreless at that. Never tired?
It's a game you get excited for, and something inside of you tells you keep going, and I don't know where it came from, but it was there, and the excitement, everything, whatever happened, I don't know how to describe it. It's just a great feeling to know that I had good stuff and I kept after it.
You win Game 7, you're MVP, and also one of the most dramatic World Series maybe in history.
It's great to be a part of. I'm just a lucky guy to be on a team that persevered so long, so hard all year long, and played another team that are champions, the Atlanta Braves. Fabulous series. Someday they're going to look back and say, what a series.
Hey, Randy Bush here, and Randy, you're one of the lucky 7 that has won 2 of these now. Can you believe that?
Unbelievable. I can't imagine anybody having a better career than I've had. To be a part of this twice and to play with this group of guys, it's so much character in this clubhouse, and I'm just thrilled and just proud to be a part of it.
Kevin Tapani with us. Kevin, describe the feeling to win this series in such dramatic fashion.
Numb, just numb. Can't believe it. That was the best game I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. Jack was awesome. I've never seen I can't imagine having a better pitch game than that.
How do you throw 125 on 3 days rest scoreless?
I don't know. He's a horse. He's the old bull. He just kept going out there and he did the job, and I feel good for him. He coming home and doing it in his first year, and he carried us. He's the best.
He is the best, and here's the man who was kind of responsible for bringing Jack Morris along with Carl Pohlad to the Minnesota Twins, and that's Andy MacPhail. And I guess you got kind of a nice return on your investment tonight, Andy.
Well, Jack did an outstanding job. I can't imagine a better game, 7th game in the World Series. I think the first time in like 60 years that it's ever gone into extra innings, the last game, and Jack was just magnificent. I don't know what more you can say than that. He was just magnificent.
Andy, you started in spring training at Fort Myers with maybe expectations moving up the ladder from last place. What did you feel that, as we take a look at the outside of the Metrodome, as your fans can't believe what's still going on here, did you feel that this team was going to be able to at least make a move at it?
Well, actually, in spring training, we came away with the best record in baseball among spring training teams, and we felt that we really had the nucleus to compete. We liked our young pitching. We liked the stability that Jack was going to give to it, and we felt that there would be a bunch of teams right in it right to the end.
How would you characterize what you've witnessed the past week?
Well, being from a baseball family, I've always tried to look at the big picture, and to have a World Series where a game's won in the bottom of the 8th, the bottom of the 9th, the bottom of the 10th, the bottom of the 11th, and the bottom of the 12th, all 5 games out of 7, and to have it that exciting, it's a great boost for baseball. I'm just sorry that we can't divide that trophy in half and give part of it to the Atlanta Braves. They're a great organization. They're going to be there for a long time. They got a lot of young talent, and it was a great series for baseball, and I'm very pleased that Minnesota could come out on top.
Andy, we appreciate your time. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Andy MacPhail, the Minnesota Twins, and one man who struggled mightily at the plate, but nevertheless was sharing the championship as much as anyone, was first baseman Ken Herbeck. We talked with him after the game.
Don't let him bother you, Jeff. Winning from needed to win too.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I know that. Probably have to go to the doctor and fix ulcers tomorrow, I think, but it's fun.
Were any of these late inning at-bats as unbelievable as any, pressure-wise that you've had?
Well, it was a situation where I had to hit the ball in the outfield and didn't do it. And I've done it before, but didn't do it this time. And thankful to Jack and Gino for winning the ball game for us.
Are these 1-0 games creepy? Just any one run, any one?
I think you can ask the fans about them. They're nuts. They're crazy.
3 days rest for Jack.
Well, we have, as the fans are still here at the Metro, we have the opportunity right now, as Tom Kelly is behind us, waving to the fans, and TK, come on. I know you're tired of talking to the media by now, aren't you?
It's all right to come down here. I'll talk to you any day. You're all right.
TK, we've asked everyone here to try to characterize what you've witnessed, and you've been in the manager's box for the last week here trying to pull all the right moves. Can you describe what you saw here?
When I watched the series with the Red Sox and Cincinnati, they say it was one of the greatest series of 75. Okay, that was fabulous. But now you have to sit in a dugout, and then people tell you they're comparing it to that. Then you're in for, you're in the ringer. And we went through the ringer, and we tried to do everything we possibly could to score runs, and we just couldn't do it. The Braves they were super. Twins were super, and it's a shame somebody really had to lose. It's a fabulous series, and I'm real proud to be part of it and have the organization, the Twins organization, be part of it. I think it's going to go down in the annals as one of the greatest ever.
Was there ever any thought of taking Jack Morris out of the game?
Yeah, and I really, this is the 5th time probably. We got, after 9, I said, Jack, that's enough. You've done your share. You've carried the load. You know, what more can you ask this guy to do? And he said, TK, I'm fine. If I wasn't fine, I tell you. I says, Jack, I think that's enough. He said, I'm fine. I really am fine. Suchi came by and said, hey, he looks fine. I said, well, it's just a game. Go ahead, babe. And hell, I mean, he was a big horse. I mean, that's why you call him a big horse, and you have to have one of those if you're going to win.
Do you think he would have told you a lie if he not felt that well anyway?
I think he couldn't have said it with the conviction that he did.
Tom, congratulations. It's been terrific.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate all your support also. Thank you very much.
Manager Tom Kelly. And I think he said it all. I mean, you try to compare this to the 1975 World Series when Carlton Fisk hit that home run in the 6th game. And night after night, we kept saying, how can they top this? Well, they did it tonight with a 1-0 10-inning win. We're now going to take a look at what happened in the locker room just moments ago. Well, they finally got a chance to break out the bubbly. It's been a while. They had a chance to celebrate with their fans here. They all gathered on the mound and said hello to everyone here behind the Metrodome. We're still here, and of course, thousands of fans outside. And I'm thinking right now we can try to throw it back outside to Don and Colleen.
Mark, if you love your own life, stay inside. Don't try to venture outside here tonight. It's going to be a madhouse out here.
We just witnessed the best team in baseball tonight, and I think we also witnessed the classiest team in baseball.
Very possible.
The way that they are recognizing the Atlanta team, and what a fine team they were as well. What really did it for the Twins, I think, coming home, seeing those fans who love them so dearly. We're going to go to Mike Walsh now, who's standing right in the midst of it all. Mike?
Right you are, Colleen, and we've had a world champion party to end all parties going on outside the Metrodome. It'll go on for some hours now. Tens of thousands of fans have taken over the streets around here. 6th and Chicago is blocked off. They've commandeered an NTC bus. People are climbing on light poles, everybody waving their Homer hankies and screaming, "We stop the chop, we stop the chop." Now, after the winning run scored, fans poured out of the Metrodome. People were high-fiving strangers, hugging strangers, high-fiving police officers, news crews. The Native American protesters here started up their chant, the chop has stopped here. We'll come over and talk with a couple of fans. How did you survive a game like that?
We survived because we knew the Twins were the best and they were #1 and they took it. Yeah, Twins!
Tell me what it was like when Larkin's hit scored the run.
Unbelievable. Just an incredible way to finish this game. Morris was awesome. It was just, Larkin, unbelievable. Just an incredible game.
All right, unbelievable series it is. This party will go on for some time. Don and Colleen. We'll throw now, actually, to Pat Kessler.
And what we're going to do right now is send it out to Pat Kessler, who's standing by with even more information on what went on tonight. Pat?
Going crazy here in Minneapolis. Absolute pandemonium. They blocked the streets off in downtown Minneapolis. You cannot drive in the city. The police say that hasn't happened in many years. Here's what it looked like when they declared. Here's what it sounded like. Colleen, take it away.
We'll take it from you. That was 5th and Hennepin, and that's quite a long distance from where the Metrodome is, so you know that people are pouring out of every place, every nook and cranny in this city, these two cities, the state of Minnesota. Look at this beautiful shot of the Metrodome with all of those beautiful searchlights working right now.
Well, the fact that you couldn't hear Pat Kessler really tells the whole story, because you can't hear yourself think down here. These are some very, very happy people down here in downtown Minneapolis. And you know, the one thing that struck me, Don, when we came back from Atlanta was the "we believe" signs that we saw. And I think that's what truly spurred this team on. The folks, those fans up in the stands, those at home just willing them on. How can you lose with people like that pulling for you?
No question about it. And there's one thing also that I think that I'd like to say, and that is about Jack Morris. He's been called the horse. And nicknames pervade baseball, no matter what era you happen to be in. Several years ago, a man named Lou Gehrig came to the plate, and they gave him the title the Iron Horse. Just maybe for the next couple of weeks, perhaps Jack Morris takes the title of the Iron Horse of baseball.
What a great thing for Jack Morris. When he came back to the Twin Cities and how emotional he was to play in this, and now I don't think the man's going to be able to handle this.
No, I think Highland Park's kind of proud right now. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more details. We just got a smoke bomb thrown at us, but we'll survive.
You're watching a special World Series edition of the 10 o'clock news on Channel 4.
Split that trophy in half, but we'll take it. I'm sure they'll have their turns in the future.
I figured the Twins deserved it because they came back here and had Avery and Smoltz, their top two guys. They had to win one game, and the Twins won them both.
And they beat a Pittsburgh club under the same scenario and a very good hitting, solid ball club in Pittsburgh. They won 2 of those games. They had to come back here one. And I really am somewhat... I don't like this idea that the Twins are invincible in the Dome. I think the teams were very evenly matched. You took away our DH and you gave them the crowd factor, and then you brought our DH back and gave us the crowd factor. I think that's what swung the pendulum in our favor, and there were one-run deficits by and large on both sides. So there are 2 very evenly matched teams, and they played with a lot of heart.
I guess you can't think of another pitcher you'd rather have on the mound in Game 7 of the World Series than Mr. Morris.
Well, he would dispel any doubt. If there was any doubt among anybody anywhere, I think he dispelled it tonight. Magnificent's the only word I can think of, Joe. He was really just everything that a pitcher would hope they could be on that in front of the hometown crowd. And to do that is really remarkable, I'll tell you. Particularly when you remember his opening day start in Oakland where he was a little nervous and didn't do as well as he had hoped. But he goes out here in the 7th game of the World Series and literally in front of millions and does that is really something unbelievable.
I remember talking to you at spring training in Fort Myers, and you were very subdued, but you quietly were very confident about this ball club. Did you ever imagine it would go this far?
Well, I'm subdued now. We thought in spring training, you just have an idea whether you're going to be competitive and contend or not, and we felt we were going to be competitive and contend. We didn't think we'd lap the field. There were 6 teams within 6 games of each other, and we had an 8-game lead. That surprised us a little bit, but we felt that we really would be in the mix come September, late September, and that's really all you can ask for. But Tom Kelly and the coaches and the players did such a terrific job, and I just can't say enough about them and how hard they play and their work ethic, and how proud I am for the Twins organization, everybody, that we can be back world champions twice in 5 years.
Not many general managers can say 2 out of 5. Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you.
All right, Andy McPhail, Twins general manager. He gets himself a 2nd World Championship trophy, and of course all the fun that goes with it. They get the ring. There's going to be the trip to the White House, and Tuesday there's going to be the parade that goes from St. Paul to Minneapolis, and it's going to end out here at the Dome at 2 o'clock, and you have to get tickets. It's $1 donation, and that money will be donated to charity. And let's now throw it outside to Mr. Mark Sapelsa, the #1 Twins fan right now. They're all cheering for Mark, not the Twins.
I wish, and the ratings would really go up. Anyway, the fun has moved from the stands of the Dome to the intersection of 6th and Chicago. And I don't know if you can see from our roving cam down there, but apparently inside the Hennepin County Medical Center, right above the Twins win sign, fans are looking down from the hospital. And I should say some of the patients looking down saying, we're #1, we're #1. All along Hennepin County Medical Center, 6th Street in Chicago, in the trees, fans are hanging like Tarzan. The celebration has come down to this intersection right here. As we mentioned before, there are reports that the souvenir truck was tipped over and crushed. I'm hoping no one was inside. We did see a couple of ambulances swing through. Haven't heard much on that since. You're looking live at 6th in Chicago, downtown Minneapolis. The celebration is here. Let's go back to Randy Marr in the studio to find out more about more celebrating on Tuesday morning. Randy?
I tell you what, Mark, it's all quiet here. You can't hear anything but a pin drop, or my pen drop anyway. But we do have some information for you for all you parade goers. Twins organization, they promised us they would have the information about a victory parade plans as soon as the game ended. They have done that for us. There are actually going to be 2 parades, and we're going to show them to you, so listen carefully. We've got all the streets for you. The first begins at 10:30 Tuesday morning in St. Paul. It starts on East Fillmore and Plato Boulevard. It winds through downtown and ends at Rice Street and John Ireland Boulevard. Then the parade will disband and move to Minneapolis. It starts there Tuesday afternoon at about 12:30 at the Basilica on Hennepin and 17th Street. It runs north along Hennepin to 4th Street and along 4th to Chicago Avenue. After the parade, a salute to the Twins will be held at the Metrodome. Again, that starts at 2 p.m. If you'd rather watch the parade, the celebration in the comfort of your home, keep it right here on Channel 5. We will have live coverage of the day's events, and exciting, I'm sure it will be. That's the information you need for you parade goers. Let's go back live to the Dome now, where the celebrations are continuing.
And it will continue probably well into Monday morning. I think we're getting close as we speak. It's about 11:59 right now. Nobody's thinking about work tomorrow. We have what is a majority of the Metrodome fans, 6th in Chicago, blocking the entire intersection. So don't try it if you're anywhere in the vicinity. If you're anywhere at any bar or restaurant near it, you're not getting through, folks. Twins fans are having a good time. We're going to take a break. We'll have more of the Twins celebration. The world champions once again here on Channel 5.
And here's what that looked like.
We're live now with a couple of fans here from Nick's Nook. Again, people who went to the same high school as Jack Morris, Tom and Tim. And even before the game was over, Tom declared Jack Morris MVP. What did you think of his performance tonight?
Well, he did a great job. He did what he had to do, and he won the game. And it's terrific.
And that's what counts. Tim, you indicated you were surprised he hung in as long as he did.
Well, it's hard for any pitcher to hang in for 10 innings. I mean, it's a job he did. Did real well, too.
Proud of him, I bet.
Oh, you bet. Highland Park boy.
Terrific. Thank you both very much. And, of course, St. Paul had much more at stake tonight than just an interest in Jack Morris. You know, sometimes I think we forget the Twins don't come only from Minneapolis. They come from the Twin Cities, and that means St. Paul, too. And St. Paul is every bit as interested. The Dome may be several miles from St. Paul, and the streets here may seem quiet, but if you listen carefully, you can hear it. The thunder of Game 7. On the city's east side, only the M in the Schmidt Brewery sign is illuminated. M for Minnesota, as in the Twins. And at a small neighborhood bar across the street, all eyes are riveted on the game.
Come on, Morris. I want 6 runs in the first ups.
And the usual musical entertainment is called off for the night. At the Ordway, the show must go on, but with provisions to keep playgoers posted.
Can you give me a score update, please?
Score on the Twins is 0-0.
Middle of 2. As promised, it's 0-0, bottom of the second. I told you we'd keep you updated.
These theater goers didn't figure on a Game 7 when they bought their tickets to Grapes of Wrath. So be honest, would you really rather have tickets to the Twins game?
Right.
Than the Ordway?
Don't tell my wife, yes.
It was packed all day at Mickey's Diner, but most people went home to watch the game. Those who stayed relied on a 6-inch black and white on the ice machine.
Since it's the last night of the series to find out which is a better team, Twins or Twins.
What do you think? Hope prevailed, the Twins win, and St. Paul celebrates not as noisily as Minneapolis, but on cue it gets a little bit noisier. We're going to go back to Amy in the studio now. She's on the fan phone. She'll be able to tell us how fans all over the state are reacting. Amy?
Trish, they're still calling us. You can hear the celebrations from people's homes. Now, all week, or ever since the series began, we've gotten plenty of calls about the CBS announcers. A lot of you watching the game at home have been upset, saying you think they've been biased towards the Braves. Well, tonight, our phone lines really lit up when Jack Buck, made a comment about one of the Twins. Here's a replay of his comment and then some of yours.
Atlanta fans had a lot of good-natured fun with Ken Herbeck.
I'm really fed up with Jack Buck. His comment about the Atlanta fans having some fun with Herbeck. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Death threats against a family and physical harm. Sure, have a good time, Jack.
If they think calling him cheater for 3 games and threatening his family is fun, I'd sure hate to go party with them.
Well, then we got a few celebrity calls, one of whom called last night. He was still keeping a close eye on the game tonight. And then a comment from one of our most well-known politicians.
And now the end is here. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. The Twins will win this game. They'll be the champs. The Braves are hurting. They played a year that's full of traveling in the big skyway. For now, all you Braves can hit the long dirt highway. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. What do you think, PK? I like it, Elvis.
This is George Bush. Live in the White House, Washington, D.C. Just calling to say that I'm rooting for the Twins. Want them to win tonight. They're a good baseball team. My heart really stopped last night when Kirby Puckett hit that home run. Barbara's calling me now, so I better go. Bye.
Well, it takes a little bit of everything, and of course, we've heard it all tonight on these phones. We'll be back in a little while with some of your ideas of celebrations other than parades for the Twins. We'll have that in about 20 minutes. Now we're going to go to Pat Kessler live at 5th and Hennepin with more fan reaction. Pat?
Amy, we're getting a lot of fan reaction, as you can see here. As I said, it's absolute pandemonium in Minneapolis. Streets have been closed off. All you can go is out. People are going crazy. Twins were going to do it. As you see, this is something here that people have been celebrating all night long. Amy, take it back. We're having a lot of fun, but we can't see you anymore.
Pat Kessler mobbed by the mob.
It's not safe down there tonight, I tell you. There's a crowd this big, and you got to be a little careful, but of course, they're all celebrating, and nobody can rain on this parade.
Minneapolis Police Department had about 200 extra officers on duty tonight, and they're going to need every one of them and even more. And there's probably, without question, a call into headquarters right now to bring out extra duty patrol officers. That's just a guess, but based on times past, that is something they would no doubt will do.
We've heard a lot from the Twins tonight. We've heard a lot from the fans. We haven't heard too much from the Braves, who I expect are feeling pretty awful right now. But we did have an opportunity to talk to Brian Hunter of the Atlanta Braves.
With Brian Hunter, the outfielder who watched that ball sail over his head, and when Gene Larkin hit it, did you know it was deep enough that the game was over?
Yeah, you know, I seen it all the way, and the farther I start drifting, the more I thought, well, even if I catch it, you know, I ain't gonna be able to throw him out. So I just said, you know, forget it and just let the ball go.
Describe the feeling inside of you at that moment once you know it's that deep.
You know, the feeling wasn't that good because I thought we should have won the ball game, but we let too many opportunities go by, and you know, they got theirs and they finally capitalized on it. You know, they're the better ball club tonight.
Is it too early to appreciate that you may have played in the greatest World Series ever, or will that sink in later?
It'll probably sink in later, but still, you know, when people look back on it, we're not going to be the ones that they looked at, you know, because they won it. The Twins won it, so really people don't look at the second place team. So we're the second place team right now.
Brian Hunter, the outfielder, over whose head Gene Larkin's base hit went to end the game. We'll be back with other news of the day as well, and later we're going to have some information about a big celebration that we're going to have for the Twins tomorrow night. Plus, we're going to have reaction from the Vikings as they got off the plane today, themselves coming home victorious, to find out how they feel about tonight's win. As for the Atlanta Braves and their fans, we wish them a safe trip home.
Until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Before somebody gets hurt or before what have you. Let's go to Kerry Miller over in the warehouse district.
Not in the warehouse district here.
are going home. Back to you guys.
Let's take you inside the dome now to Joe Schmidt, inside the dome where I believe he has Kirby Puckett. Joe?
Bother me all the time. Kirby Puckett, we got you on live TV. Now you can quit giving me a hard time. You're always causing trouble.
No, not me, Joe. You had me looking silly during the playoffs and the American League Championship Series, and you got me singing and playing a guitar, and my whole family said, what were you doing?
That's a coming attraction on Channel 5.
Well, I guess it will be now. If we'd lost, I don't know if it would have been attraction. But I'll tell you what, man, it was fun. And I'll tell you what, man, if I finally get to sleep, not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night.
I tell you what, Kirby, I'll remember one shot forever. Sixth game, the home run in the bottom of the ninth. We got to look at it right now. That's one of the great memories in baseball.
I'll tell you what, a lot of reporters asked me yesterday, a lot of media fans asked me, was that one of the biggest home runs I've ever hit? And I told them, Joe, I said, I can't really think of I didn't hit a home run in the World Series in 1987, so I said, well, I don't see why it's not. I mean, I finally went up there. One time in my career, I went up there and I said I wasn't going to swing at that low changeup. I was going to make him get the ball up and swing at it and try to put it in play and get on base with Chip. And he got it up a little bit, Joe, and I swung, and I wasn't trying to hit a home run. I thought it was off the plexiglass. I was running hard just in case, you know, and I tell you what, my teammates, when I touched the plate, man, my teammates went nuts, man. They were patting me on the head, and I had the worst headache I've ever had in my life.
You obviously didn't have a headache today, and right now you got to be on cloud nine because you got yourself that second ring.
I'll tell you what, Joe, it's a lot of guys that are not down here on the field with me, and I'll tell you, we worked hard from spring training, man, and these so-called experts picked us not to do anything, man. We went out and made some key acquisitions, man. Chili Davis, man, we went out and got him, and well, I mean, what can you say about Jack, man? He's just Jack. I mean, it's just a four-letter word for him, man. And I'll tell you what, he's been awesome, man. And it was so awesome. We were up in the clubhouse, man, and I was talking to him, and I was telling him congratulations. He said, Doggy, he said, I'll tell you what. He calls me Doggy. He said, I'll tell you what. We call each other Doggy, you know. He said, I'll tell you what made me go out there for that extra inning was you, because you didn't quit yesterday. And I'll tell you what, man, there's some special guys on this team, and you know, the World Series goes. Sometimes, you know, they break up teams and stuff like that, man. But I remember the '87 team with Bernansky and Gaidi and them guys, and I remember this World Series, man, because we went against all odds, man, and we did it, man. But we stuck together as a team, and we picked each other up all year, man, and it was awesome.
Tomorrow your music video comes out, Too Legit to Quit, with MC Hammer. What a great, it's a perfect title.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I didn't do much, man. I'm glad he didn't ask me to dance. I don't know how they dragged me into it. I thought more of my teammates were doing it, and I got to do it, man. Then they told me I was the only one doing it, and I didn't feel too good, but I did Too Legit to Quit, so maybe I'll go home and listen to it now.
Yeah, this rookie had a pretty good World Series, didn't he?
Hey, I'll tell you what, man, he's not a rookie, man. I'll tell you what, he's picked us up in some big situations, man, and Scotty Leas, man, he knows he's going to be in there left against left-handers, man, and I'll tell you what, you can't say enough about him, Smitty. I mean, what do you say, man? I mean, guy goes out and he does the job defensively and offensively. He hit a couple home runs during the season to win ball games for us, and what else can you say?
Scotty, a lot of great ball players. Hall of Famers. Kirby, will let you go. Thanks, buddy. Kirby Puckett, always cordial, always giving you a hard time off the air. Scotty, you're a rookie, and you got yourself a World Series championship. Is it time to retire?
Tell you what, it's the biggest thrill ever experienced. You know, some guys play 10, 12 years. You know, Mike Pagliarulo, he's been in the big leagues for 10 years, never been to postseason, and so this is a big thrill. You know, the whole year's been great.
And you had the game-winning homer in the first weekend back here too.
Yeah, that was great. You know, that was a thing I'll always remember. And you know, we've been playing like that all year long. You know, someone else always comes. You know, Gags, me, Gino tonight. Puck's more than usual though. So so things have been working pretty good for us all year.
What you gonna do in the off season? Just gonna sit back and savor this one?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit and then go home, and I'll probably appreciate it much more than I do right now. Because right now I'm just I can't describe the feeling I'm feeling. You know.
All right, Scotty, congratulations. Not a bad way to start off your career with the Twins.
Not a bad way at all.
All right, Scott Leas, who had a great year for the Twins, comes in the playoffs, has a winning home run in one of the games early on in this World Series. Let's go back outside to Mark Sapelsa.
All right, Joe, with happiness of a world championship comes a little over-exuberance. A couple of reports now. Police are calling in reinforcements. So I'm told that more police are coming in to try and quiet things down. They've attempted to push over another car. We have earlier reports of an explosive going off. Could be just a firecracker, we're not sure, but an explosive going off, I believe, outside of a hospital window over here at Hennepin County Medical Center to my left at 6th and Chicago here. Nobody apparently hurt. However, there is a potentially explosive situation in which, as we told you before, a meter-maid truck tipped over, some gas pouring out. The police have attempted to go in and try and shore the situation up. You're looking at some of the pictures outside the Metrodome here at 6th in Chicago. Once again, police are bringing in some reinforcements to try and tone things down and push the crowd, if we can, out of the intersection, away from the Dome along Chicago Avenue here. It's a tense situation. It's a fun situation. Tense in that the police have had to come in and do some extracurricular work here, but the fans are having a good time. Once again, a situation where police have had to come in to take care of some work right along the Super America sign here. You saw some smoke earlier where there was shirts burning. We mentioned the gas, the truck tipped over, gas leaking right below that, out of that meter-maid truck. Earlier in the night, they crushed a souvenir truck right to my left here. They tipped that over and crushed that, and trying to knock over another car, that's when police were called in. Another report of an explosive going off right outside Hennepin County Medical Center. No one hurt, but as we said, at this point, police are trying to maintain things. We haven't had any reports of any injuries thus far. That could change as the night goes on. Let's go back inside now where it's a little bit quieter, a little more civil inside the Dome with Joe Schmidt.
Well, let's hope that things stay quiet out there and nobody gets hurt and nobody gets in too much trouble. Interesting, Joe Garagiola from NBC is here, and he just said this was the best World Series since 1955 when the LA Dodgers won. Let's quickly get a look at the first 6 games of this World Series that set up the dramatic 7th game today. Ted and Jane got their first taste of the Metrodome magic in Game 1 of the series. 5th inning, Twins up by a run. And Greg Gagne comes up with a big hit. This 3-run homer off Charlie Leibrandt to give the Twins a 4-0 lead. Kent Hrbek also got the Hankies a-waving with an upper deck shot in the 6th as the Twins take Game 1 easily, 5-2.
But it was special tonight. I was pretty excited after I hit the home run. I really wasn't trying to hit the home run. I was just trying to hit the hole between 1st and 2nd, and I ended up hitting the ball out of the park. So I was pretty surprised but excited.
In Game 2, Chile got the Twins off to a hot start with a 2-run homer in the 1st. But the real heat came on a call in the 3rd inning. The Twins tried to nab Ron Gant off first. Kent Hrbek pulls Gant off first, and the umpire rules him out. That ended an Atlanta threat and would ultimately lead to some threats to Hrbek from Atlanta fans.
Well, I don't think it's very neat. Not very happy about it. It's something that really shouldn't be done. This is a game and a fun game to play, and go out there and have a good time. It's nothing that I don't think it's a very nice thing to do to somebody's mother.
The play certainly was a key, but it was another unlikely hero that locked it up for the Twins. Scott Leyes got to Tom Glavine for a homer in the 8th inning, and the Twins went on to beat the Braves 3-2, sweeping the first 2 games at the Dome.
Did you ever dream about being in that situation and hitting the game-winning home run in the World Series?
I'm sure everybody has, but then the alarm clock kind of disrupted that thought, so it was a good feeling.
The series shifted to Atlanta for Game 3, and the Twins got their first taste of the chop. They also got their first taste of Atlanta's Mark Lemke.
Lemke hits it into left field. Here comes Justice. Save! And Atlanta wins it.
Lemke's single drives in Dave Justice and gives the Braves a dramatic 5-4 win in the first ever World Series game in Atlanta.
It was a great game, really. I mean, I know it was a good game to watch. It wasn't real fun playing in it, coming out on the losing side.
The next night, in Game 4, more dramatics at the plate. In the 4th inning, Terry Pendleton doubles. Lonnie Smith tries to score. The ball is in time, and Brian Harper hangs on to the ball despite a mammoth collision. But in the 9th, with the game tied at 2, another play at the plate would go the other way.
Here's the throw from Matt. Here's Lemke. He is out.
Lemke scores the decisive run in another dramatic finish as the Braves even up the series with a 3-2 win in Game 4.
Justice hits it into left field. It carries well. And it is gone.
In Game 5, Atlanta fans had more than enough to cheer about. Dave Justice's 2-run homer helped the Braves build a 5-0 lead early. The Twins pulled to within 5-3, but then things really fell apart in the 7th. Lonnie Smith drills a homer off David West. the first of 8 straight runs by the Braves. They went on to destroy the Twins in Game 5, 14-5, to take a 3-2 series lead back to Minnesota.
We're happy as hell to get out of here and go back home and play like we've played all season with no pitcher hitting and our DH back in the lineup and in our regular lineup.
The Twins came back to the Dome for Game 6, needing a win to force a 7th and deciding game. They got it in dramatic fashion. For openers, Kirby Puckett went up to rob Ron Gant of an extra base hit with a spectacular catch in the 3rd inning. But Kirby would save his best for last. He came up in the bottom of the 11th inning with the game tied at 3.
The arm motion into deep left center from Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Kirby's dramatic homer gives the Twins a 4-3 win in Game 6 and forces a 7th and deciding game at the Dome.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any more exciting, Game 7 is just that. 0-0 through 10 innings. Jack Morris pitching the whole way. Up comes Gene Larkin, a fly ball over the left fielder's head. Scoring Dan Gladden, who led it off with a double. Twins go on to win their 2nd World Championship in 5 years, the 1991 World Champions. And if you're just tuning in, watching the celebration inside the Dome here on tape, we are outside trying to get a count on what's happening here in another sort of ball game. I've given you the play-by-play outside the Metrodome of the celebration. Our cameras can't quite reach all the way around where things are happening. We have one group right to my left here at 6th and Chicago, where everything from a tipped-over meter-maid truck has gas pouring out. A fire truck has been backed in to try and keep things calm. We had an explosion go off. There you see the meter-maid truck. We had an explosion go off outside the Hennepin County Medical Center. We think it was a firecracker. No one was hurt. We do have another band of Twins fans at 7th and Park who apparently are coming either from the Dome and drifting down or coming from the downtown area like the warehouse district that has gathered the police are trying to contain. The police have called in reinforcements to do their best to try and shore things up a little bit. Outside of that, it's happy time for Twins fans here at 1222 Live, downtown Minneapolis. All right, let's toss it back over to Kerry Miller, who's at the warehouse district. I'll be back here with more reports of some of the police activity here.
From the jukebox Saturday night bar, where this crowd has really been growing. They've all collected right here in this intersection. They keep streaming in from other places, walking from the Dome. People are standing up on top of stoplights. They're on top of telephone booths. People are waving huge Homer hankies. They're popping bottles of champagne. Really having a good time at this celebration. One more look at the crowd here. Mark, as you can see, things still pretty crazy down here in the warehouse district. Back to you.
A little more dangerous here at 6th and Chicago outside the Metrodome. The fire truck that you see behind me here has been backed up. What the police are trying to do is get the crowd away from the intersection of 6th and Chicago where a meter-maid truck was tipped over, gas coming out, and what they're attempting to do with the fire truck is clean up the gas before the situation gets even more dangerous. There you see they've uprighted the truck, the meter truck, and now they'll attempt to get the gas cleaned up down below it. We apparently have some videotape to show you of some of the celebration going on. There you see ground level. Let's take a listen here, if we can, to some of the things that happened right after the game finished and they started pouring out of the Dome.
I think it's great!
and the celebration continues outside the Metrodome. I just had a report that the fire truck and police that moved in to try and upright that meter truck, some bottles were thrown at them. I don't know if anybody was hurt, but some bottles did crash right in the middle of the gasoline area, the gasoline alley that they're attempting to clean up now. Let's, if we can, as you take a picture, take a look at this meter-made truck that we're talking about here. Let's bring it back inside the Metrodome where Joe Schmidt is standing by. Joe?
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. You know, one of the rituals here in baseball when the season ends, you take the baseball home plate out. And Eric Gislason joins us. You were over there when they did it.
There was champagne flowing all over the place. There was some songs, there was some chants, there was lots of high fives. And how does it compare? I don't know. This one I don't think can compare at all what was done on the field. I think from the players that were here, they'll tell you that it tastes sweeter than it did last time. Boy, I think both are quite remarkable.
I think so too. I remember '87 very well, and it was so fun because it was the newness of it, and this city needed a championship and hadn't had one for so long. But the great thing about this one was the great baseball that was played. I mean, just such a fabulous World Series, and 4 times the last batter at the plate wins a game. I mean, that just doesn't happen, you know, in 3 weeks during a regular season, and here it happened in a span of 7 games. But it is interesting, guys, that the Twins, come on in, Eric, that the Twins decided to kind of celebrate this one away from everybody. Right now can't even grab any of the players out. They just want to sit there and have a drink and talk a little baseball. Some of their what a year it was.
Yeah, Rob made an interesting point about being too tired to celebrate, Joe. I think from what I remember of '87 is the players maybe weren't as accessible as they were during the World Series as they were this year, and now that it's all over, they say maybe, you know, we not overextended, but we were so open with ourselves that we're going to celebrate this time together. Another thing I was thinking about is I know they're printing Wheaties boxes across town in St. Paul, and those will be out soon. I don't know why I thought about that, but I know they're at the press right now, and you can just about imagine who'll be on the cover of that.
Yeah, it's probably the big pile like it was.
Another difference.
Okay.
Well, the families, yeah. They kept the families outside the clubhouse. You remember in '87, yeah. They said, come on in, this is a party for everybody. So there's been some kind of orchestration. I guess the more World Championships you win, the more you get an idea how you want to win it, and this Twins team is celebrating in their own fashion tonight.
Now, this team went through a lot to get to where they're at right now. Let's go outside and see how the Twins fans are still celebrating this 1991 World Championship on Monday. Sports Wrap. Back out to you, Mark.
You got it. Still stomping on Monday morning. As a matter of fact, the police have started to contain things a little bit. 6th in Chicago is beginning to clear out after about an hour and a half of being completely clogged up. We have some pictures of some of the situations that were occurring earlier, including one city bus, apparently. All kinds of folks on top of it. There you see it. That place was not heading down to 54th. That was staying right there. Twins fans loving every minute of it. Familiar sight. Is it 87 or 91? Who cares? That is 91. The pictures don't change much when you're world champion. Apparently, they've also been able to clean up that gasoline that I've been talking about for some time now from that meter truck. The fire truck right behind me here, able to disperse things a little bit. The police have gotten a little order assembled, and they're moving some of the people away from the main intersection. It sounds like, and I've got a big tree in front of me here, so it's tough for me to see, but it sounds like it's moving up a little bit. I mentioned earlier that 7th and Park was another main area for a congregation of Twins fans over here. Now I've got, what are you seeing over there, Phil? My cameraman, Phil, is pointing over to, okay, it looks like a whole string of meter trucks heading out in force. 7, 8, or 9 of them. I don't know if that means that pretty soon folks are going to start to get tickets, but they were heading straight out on 5th Street toward downtown. It must mean a signal that the police are trying to break things up, get everybody to go home and do some celebrating on the inside instead of the outside like it's been going on for the past hour and a half here. If you're just tuning into us, you know the Minnesota Twins are now the world champions, 1991 world champions. The fans love every minute of it. This is not a live picture. This is tape of that souvenir truck that we talked about earlier, right after the Twins won it to become the champions. That familiar dome souvenir truck owned by Ray Crump, I believe, who's the souvenir shop owner across the street. They jumped on top of it, eventually tipped it over, and crushed a portion of it. I don't think anybody was inside because I've heard no reports of injuries. and that includes a small explosion that occurred, don't know if it was a firecracker or not, at the Hennepin County Medical Center just outside one of the windows. Again, no one hurt. I've had my assistant producer coming back and forth saying that more police were brought in to help disperse things. No one was hurt. They're starting to get things under control here live outside the Metrodome. The pictures that I see behind me look that it does look as if the police are getting things under control on the outside. Inside, pretty quiet. Just a bunch of reporters standing by, including our Joe Schmidt from Monday Sports Wrap. Joe?
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. You know, baseball's a funny game, and the man who said that is with me. Joe Garagiola, one of the baseball's all-time great. Mr. Garagiola, what a World Series.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. Everybody keeps asking, how do you compare this World Series? And you have to start talking 60 Pirates with Mazeroski's home run, and I keep coming back to the 75 World Series with the Red Sox in Cincinnati. But the thing this series had is that we didn't go in with a whole bunch of big names. I mean, everybody knew Kirby Puckett, true, and maybe Ken Herbeck, but the guys that came through with the Lemkes and the Knoblauchs and Gladden with his great base running, it was a tremendous series.
Look, we got a couple of big guys coming in here, too. We got Rick Aguilera and Joe Garagiola.
No, listen.
Did you catch?
These guys, this is a tag team match, isn't it?
Watch it. We'll take care of you, Joe.
Why, I feel like I shrunk.
No.
You know, I was just talking. Everybody's asking me about comparing this World Series. I talk about the 75 World Series, but you had a lot of guys in this series that really came through. I mean, not big names.
That's kind of seems to be the way it's been for us all year, Joe. We've had guys carry us for a short time, then maybe a guy will cool off, and we have the next guy step up and do a great job for us. It's just been that kind of year for us. It's kind of a tribute to TK, the way he's run the ball club. Everybody's done their part. It's been that way since spring training, since day one. We started off slow, kept our confidence, believed in ourselves, and we just ended up having a great year.
Joe,
I have to ask Ken, what was running through your mind when you were up there? I mean, you were in a situation where you dream as a kid to hit one in the hometown, 7th game of the World Series. Did a boyhood dream come back to you when you were walking up there?
I was looking for the wiffle ball, I think, when I was up there at the plate. It was a situation where, you know, I could have done a job and you know, put us ahead at the bottom of the 8th inning and then go out in the 9th inning and win the ball game. But I was trying my best and hit the ball up the middle. The guy caught it and doubled us off, and I wasn't feeling very good at the time, but you know, we did it, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, but just think, I know as a kid we all dream about that. I dreamed about it, and when you went up there, I said, boy, this is perfect. Hometown, now he's going to nail one. It just didn't work out, did it?
I got nailed.
Boy, Joe, you're so good at this, you ought to get a job in broadcasting.
Sound like one of my managers. After I played a game, they said, why don't you get another job? Hey, listen, congratulations to you guys.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much.
And congratulations to you.
Joe.
Enjoy it.
Whose Sports Wrap is this?
This is Sunday Sports Wrap. Okay, this is the Joe Show. This isn't the Today Show, although it is today. Thanks, guys. Congratulations. I see you got the big cigar there. Got to taste pretty nice.
Victory cigar.
I don't know how good they taste, but we have to smoke them.
This team was a special team this year, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, like I was saying earlier, we just a close group. TK kept everybody loose and kept focused, and we just. So I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun when you can leave the ball. When you leave your home and drive to the ballpark, and go to the ballpark and enjoy yourself. There was nothing worse than driving to the ballpark and not know you're not going to enjoy yourself. We got a great bunch of guys here. It's been a lot of fun, and this is just icing on the cake.
Herbie, you got yourself another one. You got one of those rings, and Joe Garagiola, one of the great ball players here. You know, we talked about some great ball players don't even get a chance to get a ring. You got two.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find a place to put it now. I know the wife won't want me to take the wedding ring off, but I'll find a place to put it. It's a sweet moment for everybody, not only with the team, but I think the state of Minnesota and the surrounding areas that, you know, people come and help us out. It's a fun time, and I know the people are partying out tonight. That's why we're on your show, Joe, right now, because we don't want to go outside and get mobbed tonight.
They'll throw us around like one of those blow-up Gumby dolls or something. We don't want that to happen.
We got a great play I want to show you here. Our crack producer, Gary Schulzenberg, queued this up. Sid Breen's up, and you pull off the double play the hard way.
No, we practiced the other day, and that day, the week we had off, we practiced this. Look how good I did it. I did it like it was supposed to be done. Pete Rose it. I Pete Rosed it. I told Jack right there when I went by him, I said, Jack, this is our game right here. And, you know, I had a chance to make it our game in a situation. I didn't do it, but Gino came through for us, and What a job by Jack. I'm happy as heck for Jack. I mean, he pitched a great ball game. If the game would have went 25 innings, Jack would have still been out there.
would have been out there. You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Eggy, you were done. You weren't even going to pitch tonight.
No, I was tired of just warming up.
Congratulations, guys. If you got another one of those cigars later, I'll have one after this thing's done.
Okay, what does it cost you, Joe?
All right, thanks a lot. Rick Aguilera, Kent Herbeck.
I just tried to relax.
Tim McCarver, who was doing the color on television, said Larkin can swing the bat, but his knees are gimpy and he may not be able to run. There's a double play problem here for the Twins. Was that in your mind? Was he correct?
Oh, sure. I'm not the fastest guy to start with, so with my knee problem, I'm probably slower. So, like I said, I just wanted to get a pitch up in the strike zone to hit a fly ball deep enough to score Danny.
Tom Kelly, let it never be said again that an American League manager can't handle a bullpen. I mean, what a masterful strategy. Put Morris out there, let him throw till he drops, right?
Yeah, that was a great job of managing, no question. Jack, he was superlative. I can't say enough about him. Everybody saw it. He was pitched 10 solid innings. The third time he's pitched in 9 or 10 days, whatever it was. He's a big horse, and anytime you give the ball to the big horse, you got a hell of a shot.
Were you talking to him after each inning, saying, "Can you go one more? Can you go one more?" Was it in your mind to pull him, or was it just to his call as to when he was going?
When he comes off the mound, you look at him and you see how he's doing. You look at the catcher and he gives you a wink. He's all right. He's not all right. After the 9th inning, I thought that was enough, and he begged me to stay in, and the pitching coach, Dick Such, said, he's all right, let him go back out there. So we let him go back out there, and it all worked for us, and we're real happy about that. Jack just was magnificent last night.
Was there any thought of making a change in the 8th?
No, not in the 8th. It was his game to win or lose right there, and we loaded the bases by walking Justice, and we were fortunate to get Sid Bream to hit a grounder at Herbeck, and we ended up with a double play. But no, I wasn't going to take him out there, no.
Gene, how do you top this? I mean, I would suspect anything after this is sort of anticlimax.
Well, you can't top this. This is what everybody dreams about when they're a little kid in the backyard. 7th game of the World Series, and I was fortunate enough to be put in a situation, and I'm happy I came through.
Did you know from the second it made contact with the bat, that was it?
Yeah, as soon as the ball hit the bat, I knew it was over. I knew it was going to be over Hunter's head, or at least further enough that he couldn't throw Danny Gladden out. So, no, it's an ecstatic feeling.
Well, I know it's early in the morning, but any way to describe your feelings, Manager Kelly?
I'm tired. I'm worn out. There was no sleep last night, and we're happy to do this morning and talk about the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves. And we got to take parents to the airport today. We got to come back to the ballpark and measured for rings, all that fun stuff. So it all surrounds the World Series. We got to get ready for a parade on Tuesday. There's so much going on in the Twin Cities right now, and we're just happy to be part of it.
Well, life goes on. Congratulations to you, and as you said very nicely, congratulations to Atlanta as well. There's it's an old cliche, but there is a shame that somebody had to lose in this. And Gene, congratulations to you as well. It was a great ball game to watch. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
15 minutes after the hour, an alleged rape victim's right to privacy. Naming names.